We're talking about recipes passed down through generations, using simple ingredients and time-honored techniques. So, are you ready to roll up your sleeves and bake some magic with me? Let's get started. First up, we have the legendary Amish friendship bread. Imagine that. Create this magical starter, you'll begin by mixing together flour, sugar, and yeast. This simple mixture is the foundation of your friendship bread journey. Now on baking day, get ready for the best part. You'll combine your bubbly, happy starter with flour, eggs, milk, sugar, and a generous dose of cinnamon. The aroma that fills your kitchen as you mix these ingredients together is pure heaven. Next, you'll pour this batter into a greased and floured loaf pan, making sure it's spread evenly. And for that final touch of sweetness, sprinkle the top with a mixture of cinnamon and sugar. It's the heart of a simple meal, the perfect accompaniment to soups and stews, and it makes a mean grilled cheese sandwich. And the best part? It's ridiculously easy to make. You only need a handful of ingredients, most of which you probably already have in your pantry. We're talking about flour, yeast, sugar, salt, water, and a touch of melted butter for that extra tenderness. To start this baking adventure, you'll begin by combining warm water, sugar, and yeast in a mixing bowl. Give it a gentle stir and let it sit for a few minutes. This allows the yeast to activate and do its magic. You'll know it's working when the mixture becomes foamy on top. It's moist, flavorful, and has just the right amount of sweetness to satisfy your cravings. If you're a fan of cornbread but crave something a little extra, this recipe is for you. It's incredibly easy to make and comes together quickly, making it perfect for those weeknight dinners when you need a last-minute side dish. To create this southern delight, you'll start by whisking together cornmeal, flour, sugar, baking powder, and a pinch of salt in a large bowl. The combination of cornmeal and flour gives this cornbread the perfect texture, slightly crumbly but still incredibly tender. Next, you'll whisk in the eggs, milk, and melted butter until the batter is smooth. The eggs add richness and help bind everything together, while the milk and melted butter create a moist and tender crumb. Traditionally, Amish sweet cornbread is baked in a cast iron, and the glaze? Don't even get me started on the glaze. It's the perfect finishing touch, adding a touch of sweetness and richness that will have you licking your fingers. Now, I know what you're thinking. Cinnamon rolls? Those are complicated. But trust me, these Amish cinnamon rolls are surprisingly easy to make. With a little patience and love, you'll be pulling these beauties out of the oven in no time. To start this delicious journey, you'll begin by making a soft and slightly sweet dough. We're talking about flour, sugar, eggs, butter, yeast, and a touch of warm milk. This dough is the foundation of your cinnamon rolls, so it's important to take your time and knead it well. Once your dough is smooth and elastic, it's time to let it rise. Whip up a batch of that comforting Amish white bread, or treat yourself to those irresistible cinnamon rolls. I guarantee these recipes will change the way you think about bread forever. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more delicious recipes, and drop a comment below. What's your favorite type of homemade bread? I'd love to hear from you. Until next time,
have a different relationship with technology. They're not against it, necessarily, they just believe in using it selectively. They choose to live a simpler life, guided by tradition and a deep respect for hard work and resourcefulness. And when it comes to beating the heat, let me tell you, they've got it figured out. So how do they do it? Today we're diving deep into the clever, time-tested techniques the Amish use to stay cool during the hottest months of the year. We're talking about simple, practical solutions that have been passed down through generations, not just thrown together haphazardly. Every detail, from the orientation of the house to the placement of the windows, is carefully considered to maximize airflow and minimize heat gain. For starters, Amish homes are built with high ceilings. Now you might think that would make a house hotter, but think about it. Heat rises, right? So, those high ceilings actually create a space for the hot air to gather, away from where people are living and working. And speaking of airflow, the Amish are masters of harnessing the power of a good cross breeze. They strategically place windows on opposite sides of their homes, creating a natural ventilation system that draws cool air in and pushes hot air. There's another little design detail you might not have noticed: the color of their homes. Ever wonder why Amish homes often have white or light-colored exteriors? It's not just for looks, it actually reflects sunlight, preventing heat from building up inside. And when it comes to staying cool, that means taking advantage of the shade and greenery that nature provides. They provide shade, which helps to cool the ground and the air around them. Think about it. Have you ever walked through a dense forest on a hot day? You probably noticed that the temperature was noticeably cooler under the canopy of trees. That's because the trees are blocking the sun's rays and creating a microclimate that's more comfortable for humans and animals alike. The Amish understand this principle, and they use it to their advantage. They plant trees around their homes, barns, and fields, creating pockets of shade where they can escape the heat of the summer. Trellises covered in grapevines or other climbing plants, creating a natural awning that provides shade and adds a touch of beauty to their surroundings.
So there you have it. Nature, not against it, and the results speak for themselves. These folks are living proof that you don't need all the bells and whistles to live a comfortable and fulfilling life. Sometimes the simplest solutions are the most effective, and in a world that's increasingly reliant on technology, it's refreshing to see that the old ways still have a lot to offer.